Hello, welcome and well met to the Moonflower Tavern here on my Twitch channel where I play games. My name is Tythalanos, and tonight I am the Game Master for another night of Pathfinder 2E in my homebrew world of Cyrenthe. Before we get started, a couple housekeeping items. First, the music you're hearing tonight is coming from the Bard the Derpwood. You can find them on YouTube and their music on YouTube. I'd love to hear more feedback on how we're doing, so jump on into the Discord, join us at the Moonflower Tavern to connect with us, kind of let us know kind of how we're doing. And man, see, I'm burning through these really quick because I hate long meetings. Great ways to support us and follow us, or great ways to support us will be following and subscribing. Anyone who follows creates an NPC that will appear at some point during the game. Subs actually are going to create an NPC who are going to be kind of more adventurers, a little more high-powered, and may be a larger part in the game. So I gotta hit up Tactical Pinup, who gave us a sub last week. On that note, we're actually also trying to save up for art commissions for the players, so any subs go directly to that. Bits go for hero points. 100 bits, 100 copper pieces are going to grant hero points to any player of your choosing, or the DM. Not biased or nothing. So feel free to donate any of those and let us know where you want that to go. I think that's about it on the topic of the players. Why don't we meet them? Tell us a little bit about yourself and who you're going to be playing tonight. Mike, why don't you go first?
All right, my name is Mike, aka DM Madcap. I have been doing tabletop gaming for far too long, 20 plus years. Tonight I will be playing Hastian, a Whisper Elf Rogue. You can find me on TikTok, on the YouTube, on most social media as either Madcap or Mike. Please feel free to look me up. I've been doing a lot on TikTok recently where I've been talking about different things on how to make a game memorable for your players, because I've been DMing for a while, and I gotta tell you, I'm so happy that Tythalanos asked me to play as a character, because DM burnout is a real thing, and being a character helps you avoid that. Back to you, Ty.
Yeah, hopefully this will be a nice little reprieve and won't be too, too much work, because I am going to put a decent amount on the players so that they can just kind of enjoy themselves. But Allie, how about you next?
All right. Okay, my name is Allie. It's my first campaign. I'm playing Joanna, a human monk. I have no socials. Don't find me. Enjoy.
And rounding us off is Shelly.
Hey all, I'm Shelly, and you can find me on Twitter at RealFleaMonkey and also at Guild Superior. I play there here and there. Tonight I am playing Guzmik, who is a goblin cleric. Likes to bite in battle. May or may not heal you.
I did forget to mention that I also play with Guild Superior on occasion. I've DM'd there a couple times. I've played in a couple of their one-shots. Great place to hang out if you're looking for additional channels to watch and see people having fun doing this kind of thing.
Say definitely. Guild Superior, Dave over there pushed me to start, or to at least jump into a couple one-shots, start the DMing, and now I'm here. So it was a great push, and I think Shelly was on there last night, so she's on there Tuesdays.
I was on there last night.
We'll see. I don't know if it's long term, but she at least survived, so she'll be back the next week.
Yep.
So speaking of the next week, we are back for our second game. Players, are you ready?
We're ready!
All right, I'm going to see if I switch the music. I don't remember what music this one was. That's not too bad. Last week, players met in the Smiling Skull Inn, where they each seem to, by happenstance, arrive at their own schedule and were impressed upon a vision that they had much earlier in their past. This seeming bond seemed to at least open the door for conversation, and were taken advantage of, or attempt to be taken advantage of, by the town, as it were, and their now current greatest nemesis and adversary is a 10-year-old Lycanon child. A quick scuffle ensued in the tavern, where handily defeated a pair of disguised guards and were hired on to attempt to retrieve an artifact that was stolen by a horde of goblins at one point, and the town is currently being held hostage and having to pay a tithe every week or every day. I think that's about it. Sounds about right. Anything major I missed? Other than the fact that you all hate kale so much.
Both the food and the kid, yeah.
Spelt differently.
Well,
But on the note of kale, where we last left off, you had all exited the Soothing Shrine, the local temple to most all the pantheon in Cyrenthe, where you had actually bought a pair of healing potions for something that may or may not need them in the future. As you all exited back into the courtyard, there in the stone courtyard, in the center of the courtyard sits the fountain with a empty column raised up into the air, bas reliefs of horses, wild flowers, hills, other kind of animals, maybe some foxes and dogs, and just kind of a nature type relief over the fountain. But striding purposely toward you is a woman of middle-aged woman, probably thin, lightish hair, a pair of light colored fox ears, and a bristled tail, dragging along your nemesis, Kale, by one arm and one hand, striding purposely toward you. He, you, as you remember, probably about 10 years old, sandy brown hair, his ears are kind of tilted back against his head, tail near firmly tucked between his legs, as he is being dragged along in your general direction. Upon reaching you, the woman pulls Kale aside and brings him in front of her, and she greets you. I do presume that you are the three who had been in the tavern. Is that right? Who had a interaction, as she kind of squeezes Kale's shoulders a bit, with my son?
That was us, yes.
Yeah.
Your son.
That was us. What can we do for you, my good woman?
You'll see she kind of pokes him, and Kale steps forward and head down will kind of mumble, "I'm sorry for trying to steal your stuff." Kind of get a hard poke again from his assumed mother, I'm sorry for trying to steal your money.
One should always look who one is apologizing to in the eyes to allow them to see whether you are truly sorry or not. So, would you mind? It was my two friends that you did try to steal from. Look them in the eyes and tell them that you're sorry. And then we'll ask if they believe you.
He'll kind of give a little side eye and a bit of a huff before his mother flicks him in the ear. And he will look the two back and forth between Guzmic and Joanna in the eye. I'm sorry for trying to steal from you.
And while he's doing that, I'm going to walk up and put my hand on his shoulder and see if I can find anything that I can take off of him. Like his drawing supplies or anything to that effect.
All right, why don't you roll a, I believe, sleight of hand check?
Thievery, I
Thievery,
believe.
thank you.
10.
See, I didn't set up any dice. He does catch the closeness that you are to him and the wandering hand, and will relatively smoothly kind of move an arm and kind of the jacket to kind of block off the path your hand was making towards his quills. So he did catch you and stop you from trying to steal anything, but will make no motion to confront you about it.
So after he says, I'm sorry, first of all, ladies, do you believe him?
Yes. I do, for my part. I know you're sorry. You'll never do it again. Is that
Johanna?
right, Dale?
Yes, but I would kind of like to bend down at his eye level and ask, why did you try to steal from us?
Well, I was just told by Bryce and Ollie that if I tried to get some money for the town and they'd be there to back me up, and I was just trying to help. And he kind of tears up a little bit at that.
Look, you have
I'm a
heart of
sucker, I
gold.
believe him.
You have a heart of gold, and I lean in and I say, look, very quietly so that his mother can't hear. Say, look, you've got some talent, boy. You're gonna go far, but you just need to better case out who you're trying to use that talent against. Thank you very much for getting us this job, though. And I stand up and I say, see, all is forgiven. Thank you for bringing him to us.
He will he'll kind of ears will perk up and will turn back towards his mom, and she's still, she obviously taking it in, looks a little relieved and thankful towards you, but still keeps a kind of that stern eye towards him, and will say to him, they may have forgiven you, but your punishment still stands. No foxing for 10 days. And at that, he'll kind of start to throw a fit a bit and get upset, but will very quickly kind of calm down in resignation, and will kind of make his way to try to head home, and his mom kind of shoos him along. thank you very much for your patience with my son. My name is Tabitha Lightfoot, and I am the I guess the representative of the Sundered Collective. So I guess if you have any questions, I would love to be of assistance. And before we go any further, I just want to say, actually, our bard tonight, the Derpwood, actually jumped into chat, so he's here for a little bit. So that was very cool to get him popping in. So Derpwood, hopefully the sound is audible, and yeah, we'll be bouncing around through more as they go on, but try not to do too much of it. So, or don't want to surprise it all and burn it all right away. But yeah, super excited. So, all right, back to the action.
All right. The Sundered Collective. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar.
There's a lot of kind of local representatives about, and they're a pretty large guild. We're interested in the artifacts of old. You know, what was made, what we were unable to remake, and that lost knowledge. And I guess one of the reasons why it's been so difficult to actually find and locate our artifact is most all the artifacts are unable to be scried and searched for. Knowledge about them is very difficult to pass along, and it's not as easy as just, you know, getting a wizard in and trying to locate cast the locate object. Like that's standard every day. We've tried it before, and it's just nothing that can be caught. Even bards of old have attempted to kind of discern more of stories that it was, you know, this gauntlet was evolved in, and only bits and pieces are ever kind of brought forth. So that is part of the reason why we're so difficult to find that, and that's what the Sundered Collective is here to kind of keep investigating.
Okay, thank you.
Player question.
Sure.
In my notes, I have something Bleeding Fangs written down. Is that in relation to the Sundered Collective?
So the Gleaming Fangs is the kind of the Fighters Guild / Adventurers Guild.
Okay.
You would probably know, based on their kind of their activist nature or their proclamations and such, that they are based kind of towards the decayed marshes, and they're mainly focusing on kind of keeping that area at bay, and that's kind of their home base. So you're relatively close to that, maybe a 10-day to the east. But yeah, it's just another kind of faction in the world.
And so they don't really work with the Sundered Collective for things like finding artifacts, or might they?
They might be contracted out.
For what we know anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I would like to bow and say, Tabitha, I understand how stressful the situation must be, and I really appreciate Kale's apology. Going forward, is there anything that would really help us, maybe that you've already tried, or that we should watch out for on our quest?
I know it's scary to say, but I can only say tried it all. We've had a large contingent of mercenaries come and essentially take care of all the goblins that were here, and they came back after a time, and we were still unable to find the gauntlet while they were gone. We've contracted smaller groups to come in, and the goblins have been ready for a counterattack because they may have seen them arrive. We've had even just one-offs, kind of those who are talented in the shadows, as it were, try to go in and sneak around, and they have come back unsuccessful. Even yet a few days past, earlier this 10-day, there was a party that came in, was contracted, and sadly 2 of them had perished, and Cyrenthe was the only survivor, but they came from the Sunder Collective as mercenaries. Where I am hopeful that our mayor's idea of gathering a crew that is maybe a surprise to the goblins will be of a better plan. So I'm hoping that with the 3 of you not coming into town together may not set off the goblins, and hopefully will surprise them. And other than that, all we know is, well, with Cyrenthe, there were maybe 8 or 9 goblins, but they were all killed. A hobgoblin and a creature of light that was down there as well. And when some of the guards went back to investigate afterwards, they were unable to locate that hobgoblin and that other creature, but the hobgoblin did make itself known after a couple days, and now we have been paying the price of a higher tithe, as it were.
I'd like to turn to my 2 not associates, because I've never met them before until now, and say, do you think she knows about our vision? It's very interesting that she says we would be a good fit not coming into town together, but we are together now.
I think that she's just saying that.
Know about our
Alright.
Yeah, I think that she's just saying that because of the.
I like how you're thinking, though. I like the idea that you're putting together these pieces that don't fit. I mean, they don't fit, but thinking. Yeah.
Let us be careful on how we use our words, Cosmic. Johanna,
What did I say?
Pieces that don't fit. Johanna, I think that you are you're looking for things that may not be there, but I do like your cautiousness.
Well, if there's nothing else, or if you have any more questions, I'll head home and take care of KO. But if you have any other questions or anything comes up, I'm the local representative of the Sunder Collective, and my house is just down here, and players, as you can kind of see, and actually we can probably show everybody. And my quick little...
Where does Kale live? Come on.
Where's Kale live? That is the question.
Be out here at Tabitha's house. Oh. So,
noted.
If there's anything else any other help I can be, please do swing on by. But I guess I'll be off. And with that, they kind of head off kind of to the east and heads on back towards her home.
Well, I think that Kale's probably gonna do that again, but that's neither here nor there.
Of course he is. It's in his blood.
Yeah,
Hopefully it's for the
there's no-
town. It's for the town. It's for the town.
Or for people that he's never met before that he just happens to go on an adventure with.
50-50.
Well,
So, what did we decide that we were going to do? Are we going to wait for them to bring the next tithe out and make them lose more money before we gain it back?
We need
Or
to
are we
wait
going to...
till tomorrow morning, right? I mean, that would be what we were thinking. I thought that was the best idea, and to follow
Okay.
them back.
I feel like
Let's do that then.
hasn't that happened before? I thought someone said
Not
that
by
they.
us.
Okay.
so it's
I am supremely confident for all of us. I think we can handle something that a large group of mercenaries were not able to do.
I mean, we've got plot armor, so we're okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So yeah, it's probably like mid-afternoon. If there's anything else you're interested in doing,
Burning down Tabitha's house.
No,
No,
we're not going to burn it down.
Just kidding.
Should
We're going to
we?
set up... We're going to set up like a thing outside of Kale's window that every time the wind blows, it goes... Ooh. Give him frickin' nightmare for years.
Listen, I admire the kid for, taking the initiative to make a better life for himself.
Yeah. I told him he's got to choose his marks better.
I was gonna slip him a coin, but it wasn't an obvious moment I could do it.
Nah.
I was thinking bread. He doesn't deserve money.
Well, it would have just been a copper.
That's not money.
That's. And in fact, I don't have copper coin. I don't know why I said that. I have a silver coin. I don't consider it money either. If I see a piece of copper on the ground, I leave it. You know what I'm saying? Leave it. Silver, yes, I will pick that up. Copper, no.
is there a quantity involved? A pile of copper versus, how big a pile do you need before you start picking them up?
Just Mick,
He's
I'm going to
talking me
remind
right
you
now.
of this. I'm going to remind you of this later. Just saying.
Quick interruption. We actually just got
5 timer,
raided
by the way.
by a buddy of mine, Vaulted Prop. Thanks for jumping in.
Hey!
Yay!
Let's see if this works out. Hope your stream was well. Bendy and the Dark Revival. Interesting. I'll have to check that out. But yeah, feel free
my
to
God,
hang on
no.
in for a little bit. We are playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and yeah, we were just kind of kicking off. It's only our 2nd episode, but back to the action again, players.
All right, so back to the end.
Or should we go scout out the edge of town?
Either way.
That is not a bad idea, and that inn gives me the creeps. That skull back there? Were you not creeped by that?
I thought it was pretty cool.
It's
I feel
mid.
like that is to be expected with you. I don't
Okay,
even know you yet, and I feel like you like that weird stuff.
I traveled with a circus for 40 years.
That means you like skulls that do weird stuff to us?
It didn't do anything to us.
I feel like it was there and it like pulsed or something when we had our vision. It pulsed. Don't you think it did that? I felt a wave.
I don't have
Okay,
your
maybe-
instincts.
Maybe it's just me. I'm kind of got my fingers on the pulse of lots of different things. So maybe I felt an energy you guys didn't, but it pulsed.
What did you have before you came into the inn for meal? Something
Uznik
with
doesn't
mushrooms?
need to have anything. I feel the vibes naturally.
Okay.
But
Let
anyway,
us-
that's another story. Let's go scout that area out. I think that's cool. Let's do that.
Let us go and do that then.
All right. Let's see. At this point, I'm unsure if anyone has actually even talked
Oh, we don't
to figure
know
out
where
what
to go.
what happens. if you want to, we could probably make, I think there's a, oh man, now I gotta remember what all the possible roles are. Let's see, what do we got for proficiencies?
Let's just split up the party and each take one.
Could, or I think, is there like a society role?
I joke.
There is a society. Oop, I hit that button. Why doesn't everybody roll a society to see kind of how we
Society?
Yeah, it's on your skills page.
just kind of see kind of the amount of information that we do end up gathering.
Ooh.
All right, being new in town and it being a relatively small village, probably a decent amount of word has kind of traveled about. You've known about the bell that gets kind of rung in mid-morning, kind of announcing that it's time. You are told that off to the northeast exit, there's a path out there that the mayor does take every day to bring the coins out that direction. Probably the most that you're gonna get out, and kind of I think of what you're looking for of a general direction to head. So out here, that direction would be a path if you wish to head out that way to kind of scout the area.
Hale's house is on the way. I mean,
Whoops, flicked a cigarette.
I was worried about non-lethal damage, and you're gonna burn his house down. Well, let's go that way.
The nemesis of the party, a 10-year-old kid.
Yep.
Maybe only 2 of us should go, just in case someone's watching. I mean,
Oh.
they did say it was a positive thing. They didn't see all of us together.
Well, yeah, I suppose. I could try to hide and keep up with you while hiding. That's something that I've become quite proficient at.
I was gonna let you go to the bar, but yeah, that sounds great.
Oh, I mean, I have no idea how to be careful and stealthy. Damn. All right, let's go.
Okay, let's see. As you all kind of head out that way, you pass the mayor's residence, a shop with a kind of a mortar and pestle sign on it. Exiting past the courtyard, the central courtyard of the town, you reach kind of a standalone house. Nothing super special about it. There's a sign of what looks to be almost the tower card in a lot of tarot nowadays, is a tower that is kind of sundered and falling, that probably would have at least a basic idea that is the symbol of the Sundered Collective. So this would be Tabitha's house. Another couple small houses on your way out. You pass a little guard station next to the gate, and as you kind of look out, a good maybe 50 feet away kind of starts the edge of the forest. Thin to start, but relatively quickly gets pretty thick. And after careful glance, you can kind of see a worn dirt path that heads off to the north. Should be this one right here. Wrong character clicking. I guess, would you want to... Are you planning to follow the path? We sound like Hastian was possibly going to be sneaking about. Would you have been running off to the woods? You're going to try to stay in the inner side of the wall to kind of sneak about, or?
Well, there's 2 different types of stealth. There's the type of stealth that I'm trying not to be seen by anyone, and then there's the type of stealth where I'm just trying to blend in and look very nonchalant. So I'm trying to do the second one, where I'm like just acting as if I'm a person just walking out to the woods or what have you, as a normal townie would do.
Okay.
I think I'll be. I mean, we're probably all kind of just being nonchalant about it. Maybe I will walk with Joanna though, because 2 people walking, right? I mean, we want to do that and just have Hestian be kind of with us but not with us.
Yeah.
Or should we all be kind of just like rando townies?
I don't know if you could be rando 3 of you outside the town in one spot. So maybe 1 and 2.
Okay, I'm good with that. You and me, Joanna, we're doing this.
All right. So I kind of give a little nod and I say, "Be in the woods."
All right. Let's see. As you kind of shadow the 2 ladies as they make their way kind of along the path. Very quickly, you see a decently sized kind of stump placed out into the, or kind of log of wood almost on its end, standing out at the end of this little path all the way up here. Seems nothing terribly special at this point. Why don't all 3 of you make a perception check?
Didn't roll.
I love nature so much. I'm so perceptive.
Ain't bad.
All right, as you're kind of standing in place, this works out pretty well with Hestian kind of shadowing in the woods and Guzmik standing at the point. Hestian, you very quickly come upon, kind of hidden in the bushes a little bit, it used to be a bell. It still is a bell, but a bit beaten up, kind of cracked a bit on the bottom. Probably the size of a decent sized pot. Standing there, kind of hiding out in the woods. Guzmik, you're kind of standing at the stump, and you can see into the woods a little bit. Then obviously there's Hestian, and you can kind of see a worn path of leaves kind of spread apart, so kind of a well-worn trail, as it were, that would come heading almost right towards that stump. Joanna, you actually kind of keeping an eye on the whole general area of where we are, and kind of looking out for ambushes. You do notice a couple gaps up in the trees that do look relatively climbable. That could be kind of a scout position of some sorts, possibly. So I guess that's kind of the lay of the land out here.
Can I tell if the scouts have been like well used, or if they're just like naturally open?
You probably have to get a little closer to figure that out, but someone already is in the woods, so it wouldn't be the end of the world if you were to head that way.
Do I want to, or do I want to keep the illusion of us all being separate?
I'll say with those rolls, because a kind of general perception check, there are no eyes on you at the moment that you can tell from the woods. You seem pretty confident that you're alone out here. It may have been a guard inside or 2 saw you kind of heading out that way. Maybe people inside might be able to see a little bit, but from the woods doesn't really seem much danger.
I want to get a better look then.
Okay. So you kind of
yeah.
Go ahead. So as you kind of make your way out into the woods, you kind of check those hiding spots, and you do see a bit of worn bark, and maybe a couple broken ends of twigs and branches. So it does seem to be something that was, fashioned to be a position.
Alright, there's no eyes on us, so I turn to the other two and tell them what I have seen. Or maybe I just turned to Guzmek. I have anxiety. No, thank you.
Hestian, while kind of poking around a little bit, you do see a bit of a trail heading off into the deeper woods farther to the north.
Okay.
Just a bit more information that it's there.
Yeah, I would like to try to figure out what or who has used that trail, if possible.
All right, I think it'd be. Oh man,
Probably survival.
It's probably survival.
Oh. 14.
Might be a little difficult to really get a ton of information. You've heard it's been more goblins, and you do see kind of a few dusty footprints. Seem like it might be about the right size. They're relatively small size, but beyond that, can't really tell exactly what made those. It is a bit of a hard pack, dry earth at the moment.
Okay. Gonna go back to the edge of the woods and just keep an eye on my friends that are standing around a stump.
It's a good stump. How dare you?
I don't judge. I don't stump shame here in this house.
I kind of want to turn to Guzmek and say, I don't see anything more, I guess, to see. Unless we want to set a trap or one of us wait here. I think we could head back to the inn.
I think we should head back. If we set a trap, that might blow our cover for following them deeper into the. I mean, I'm assuming down this road tomorrow. Unless we want to keep going further into the woods, we could probably give Hestian a little sign, like meaning we're gonna go further. I don't know. We really talked this out. We didn't really plan how far we were gonna
We
go.
did not.
We? No. It's silly of us.
Scooby-Doo, split up.
We don't. This is our first time doing covert operations, so we don't know.
We're not split up. I'm just like 50 feet away from you. It's not like I'm not watching you in a non-creepy way.
Then I go like this. What did that mean?
I think you should cast something to cure yourself, because that looks really painful.
See, this is what I mean. He doesn't know. Should we go back or should we continue further out?
No, I asked that first.
I bounce it back at you because I don't have an opinion.
I
do have an
should
opinion.
Go back.
I think we should go
Yeah.
out further.
That's
okay.
I think I heard a birdie on the wind say we should go back.
I step out of the forest. I'm like, look, we either go back or we go further into the forest. There's a bell in here. There's a hard pack game trail type thing over there, which is probably where they're coming from.
Do you want to
There's
just come over
definitely
to us so we don't yell back and
Yeah,
forth?
I'm coming.
Okay.
I'm walking over while I'm saying this. Like, I could hear you. I heard what you were talking about.
You could not.
Did you see these ears?
We were whispering. Yes, okay, you probably did. You probably did. They're huge.
Thank you.
Okay,
Homegrown.
should we just go back and have our conversation in the inn by the creepy skull, or should we just keep... They know we're all together now, right? I mean, they know.
There's no one here. There's no one here.
If anyone missed your eyesight, they would know we're here. I'm not saying... I'm sure you're very, very competent in seeing things, but just in case. Should we go back, or should we... We're just gonna follow them tomorrow, right? I mean,
I was gonna say, let's go back. We're level 1 and we have plot device. We got it.
Yeah. And we know where someone...
Thank you!
We know where they might be tomorrow, so when we follow them tomorrow, we know what to look for.
Alright, sounds good. Let's have a good meal, get some rest.
We just had breakfast. Okay.
It's much later in the day. I didn't just have breakfast.
Like
We've had some activities.
It is relatively early yet, but probably could get dinner if you guys wanted.
Well, let's go and have a drink or two. Play some games.
No food.
Games of chance?
Of course, always.
Alright.
Alright then.
So we will jump back into the Smiling Skull Inn. Dinner will be happily provided by Kendra, the bartender. Basic stews, maybe a bit of a roast. Might be a little early for the roast, but for you tonight, no charge for dinner.
Do you have cards?
There may be some laying around here.
Cards.
You're probably able to get a relatively beat up deck for you.
You don't want my cards.
I mean, I
don't anymore.
I didn't know you till hours ago.
Which is why I'm asking for a third party's cards, so that you don't accuse me of cheating in some way.
That is not what I was thinking. Okie dokie.
What were you thinking?
The cards are sticky.
No, they are not. They're not that kind of card.
Well, I guess that's not what I was thinking
From
either.
rum. Sticky from rum.
From rum and jam.
Certainly. Because
You look like a jelly guy.
Jam every once in a while. Alright, so this is called Three Dragon Monty. And I start dealing out cards and explaining the game to them, and we can talk while we game. So,
first, is there any coin on the line? Or are you playing for
no,
fun?
it's a friendly game right now. If we attract attention for playing a fairly well-known gambling game, we certainly might bring out my cards and might put some coin on the line.
All right.
So we all had this vision. Well, I described mine first, saying this is what I saw. Now, I'm not too worried about it, as the end of my days is quite some ways off compared to the short livers. What did you all see?
Can I scout the bar real quick?
Just see who's in the bar at the time. Yeah, let's pull everybody back into here.
I love my girl Kendra, so I hope she's there. But no one else.
At this point, feel free to maneuver yourselves where you want. The bar is quite spacious. Kendra will be at her post, kind of behind the bar, feet up on occasion. Mora off in the opposite corner, kind of dealing dealing with the books, or maybe even just sitting back reading a book herself.
Oh, I'm on the table. Whoops.
I was gonna say, you haven't even had a couple drinks yet, Gizmek, and you're already dancing on the table. All right.
Like
Let's
to
see
be
how
at the
you are.
same height as you guys.
Ah.
And at this point in time, it's early in the day. Probably nobody else around at this time.
Okay. Then I say pretty much saw the same. And thank you for calling me young.
Welcome.
I think we saw the same vision, or I don't really have anything extra to add because I think it was the same vision.
And did it not happen when? Do you think did something set it off? Right? Didn't somebody walk in or?
I've had that vision multiple times.
What?
I had the vision when we were all sitting here, but prior to that, one of the reasons why I came to this town is due to the vision that I had.
Multiple times.
You probably wouldn't have remembered the entire thing, but
I felt a calling.
everyone has had a feeling of a vision at some point in their past, but it didn't really become clear until today, technically.
Yeah, I think it happened when I actually walked into this bar, but you were both already here.
So are we assuming then it happened when we all became all of us were in the same room for the first time? I thought it was somebody else walked in. I thought we were already all together, but I could be remembering wrong because there was a lot of whiskey this morning.
No,
I don't drink, and I'm pretty sure I was the last one in.
All right. You were the last one in, but when we had the vision, had we all been sitting down, or was it like the moment you walked in? Like, what set that vision off for us?
I'm pretty sure it was the moment I walked in. Because I
That
came in to scout
great.
people, and one step in the door, and I
Yes,
was
but
Yeah.
taken aback.
Yeah,
I'm
all
telling
right.
you that this is not the first time I've seen some of those images from the vision. I believe we've all seen it before.
There was a very strong sense of familiarity to me when,
Yes.
we had that. We all saw the same thing this time.
Yes, we did.
Seems important.
It does. But what it means, I can't really say right now.
It means we should be together and do things together, I think, to figure it out, right? Since it happened when we were together. Maybe it'll happen in different locations. Like maybe when we get to another place and we're all together, we'll see something else. I don't know.
Could be. Could be.
Weirder things have happened.
Let me ask this.
Not a lot, but
We have time. Do we want to plan, or do we just want to say F it and go and just do whatever we feel like we're best at doing when the mayor puts out the offering?
it seems too important to do my preferred style, which is fly by the seat of your pants. Let's plan something. Right? What do you say, you guys? And I slam my two little green hands down on the table.
I jump back and say, okay.
Oh,
What do you want?
No.
I look at Gizmic and say, next time don't tip your cards. I know I've got you
Don't
beat
look
now.
at my cards. It's on you.
All right, let's plan something. Then.
Fine. I'll pull
Are we
my
going to
bubble.
allow these ruffians, these ragamuffins, to take the money and go back to their secured area? Or are we going to take them out and then go back to where we believe they are coming from.
We should take them out because, I mean, if they just get away, we could follow them.
Here's my thought. I'm sorry, go ahead, Johanna.
Let me say something then.
Here's Vic.
The flaw in the plan here is if we take them out, we might go to the wrong place.
All right. There were scouting positions, at least 2 or 3 that Johanna saw. They're going to be manned.
For sure.
Things there. So if we stay in the wood and take out the main party that has the money, let the mayor have it, those scouts will probably run. Or might try to attack. Either way, it's going to be fun. If they run, we're going to have to follow them back to their location. There is a big flaw in that we might kill them all before they get there. Because you look very capable. If we decide to allow them to go, what type of armor is Guzmik wearing?
Chain shirt, I think. Chain shirt? Where's my... I'm sure it's a chain shirt.
That's going to
I'm not sure, but...
That armor of yours is going to make it a
Yeah,
teensy bit difficult to follow them without arousing suspicion.
Maybe I just stay here, sleep in, you guys do it. I'm only kidding, that is not my plan. Oh, of course I'm coming.
No, please come.
What do you- what-
A little late.
I feel so wanted. Well, what do you suggest? I'm not taking my chain shirt off.
No, I just mean that we're going to have to follow them at a farther distance than I'd like.
You could follow closer. You are pretty, sneaky.
Yes, thank you.
I mean that in a good way, of course.
Well, of course, I
In this
understood it completely.
Scenario.
All right.
We don't know either how many will come to pick up the money specifically,
True.
and how many will be hiding. And here's another variable. We don't know if they all come together and go disperse to their specific jobs. If we went in and we took out the scouts first, that would be ideal, but we don't know if they all come to... Hey, why don't we come in from behind? Like, come in from the same direction they're kind of coming. Take out the scouts after the others have already come into town to get the money, and then we're in position.
Because they don't come into town, they go to that stump.
Oh, I thought they came into town.
No, they ring the bell.
Oh, well,
And
shit.
that tells the mayor to come out
Okay,
and drop
okay,
the
okay.
money on the stump, and then they take it. That's a good question. Which the barkeep? What's her name again? I'm sorry.
Kendra.
Kendra, do you have a moment?
She'll, sit up and head on your way. Another round.
Actually, I do have a question for the mayor. Do you know if she's available?
Could probably get her in. Yeah, give me a few moments, and she'll head off over to across the bar to Mora. Mora will kind of leave, and Kendra will kind of head back to her spot and kind of nod in your direction. And
So my question to the mayor is going to be: does she stay around until the offering is taken? And if so, how many has she seen in the past? I don't think that she's told us that at all.
Let's get the full procedure, because I was clearly misunderstanding before.
That's
Let's just get the full detail
Yeah.
of what happens tomorrow, or every morning.
All right. Sounds good.
I don't know why we didn't think of that before.
Okay. Give it a short time. Ivis would come back in, as you know, is the mayor, a halfling woman with kind of a lighter curly hair, and would head in your general direction and kind of nod over to Kendra, give a little hand motion, and she'd provide a drink, and she'd kind of sit down to join you. Did you have some questions?
Would like you to give us actually no, go ahead, Gizmic. You were the one that had.
No, we're gonna say the same thing. Could you start by just telling us the exact procedure that happens when you do the money transfer every day, and let us know if it's the exact same or if there's any kind of a vacillation in any details as well.
Okay. Well, I guess
So we're making a plan, you know.
Oh, fantastic. Hopefully I can be of assistance, but normally I'm ready in the morning with the payment, and wait until I hear the bell sometime mid-morning. Then we'll head out that way to the stump, and then so off northeast exit there's a stump where they kind of set out and put the gold on there. And I just put the coins down because I don't. Well, we got in trouble once for just putting a bag out there. So put the coins there, and I turn back to leave. And normally within a very short time, a goblin might come out to grab the coins and then head back in, and then they end up leaving. After this last incident, a couple times a hobgoblin did come out and I guess may have made an announcement before I could leave that the payment was going up, but now we're just back to a goblin, as it were. But what else was there?
So only one collects it, but do you ever see other goblins or creatures?
I've seen a couple others on occasion that stay in the woods.
How far back in the woods do you recall them standing? Were they
And
under
on the
cover?
ground?
Well, I guess I don't really notice them until they're, kind of walking away, and probably 5-10 feet into the woods, maybe.
Are they on the path, waiting for their cohort?
They meet up at the path, so they might be standing near it. I guess I saw one a few, maybe 15 feet away from one of them, near one of the big trees at the edge, but I'm usually right near the path.
Are they all wearing similar things? Does it? I'm gonna stick with the first phrase because I can't think of any explanation deeper.
I guess there really isn't any uniform or insignia.
Uniform is what I was thinking, but.
What were you going to ask, Keston? Was that, did you have something else? Was that, jive with the things you might remember from?
Yes, that's everything I was thinking of for the most part right now. Give me just one moment. You said, how many was the maximum that you saw, aside from the hobgoblin who shouldn't be there? What's the maximum number of goblins you saw walking away from?
I've seen
payment?
4 a couple times.
All right, so let's assume that the other 3 are up in the trees in the scouting areas where you thought there's 3 of us, could be 3 of them.
You're assuming best case and not worst case?
I'm assuming best case, but
Well, best would be a smaller number. That is the largest number you've ever seen, right, Mayor? Is 4?
Yes.
Walking away.
Yes.
Walking away.
Well, and that's assuming that they all got down and just walked away with loot, right? There is a possibility that they still had someone standing in a, sniping position from a tree. My thought is this: at some point, they all have to meet up and go, right? So, I don't like the odds of trying to surprise them and take them out until they have the money and are on their way back. I like the odds of tracking them better and finding their hideout. It's going to be difficult.
Did you
Go
say
ahead.
that someone survived and is still in town?
They actually left a couple days ago. So we know that they head through the woods to the hills, and there's maybe a stretch of half a dozen caves, and they went into the one with the most well-worn path. It'd be like about the fourth one or something. I guess I don't remember exactly, but they went in there, and that's where I guess the rest of them were.
And just to confirm, it's always got to be you that does the transfer, correct? Has it ever been anyone else?
I have been the only one to do it.
Right, okay.
They said the mayor should do it, and so I've tried to bide our time and not antagonize them.
Have you ever tried to send someone else?
No.
You said you tried everything. Come on.
We
Okay.
could say you fell ill, and one of us could go out. You were like vomiting and intestinal, the 2 exits, no waiting scenario, and you couldn't come out, and so one of us had to come and fill in and give the money.
If we
could
really
try that
need to,
tomorrow.
we can make you sick. We can put on a show.
Well,
Just kidding. It's like a threat. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I take it back. I didn't actually say that out loud. I didn't say it out loud. The mayor did not hear that.
We could work on having you get some bottle flu. Just drain a couple bottles of fire whiskey, and you'll be hungover for the day,
I'm
but
not
you'll be
suggesting
puking.
she gets sick. Oh, it's fake.
Okay,
She
They
just
said
hides
that-
in the other room.
they said that the mayor should do it.
Right.
Obviously, they know that this town still has money. They're bleeding them dry. I'm thinking someone's working with these yoo-hoos.
Do you think there might be someone
Inside
on
the
the
town.
inside?
Yes.
Yes. Well, if we like this ruse idea, we can just make sure that it's very visual, like visually she's ill and needs to be carried home and then hide her in her house.
Yeah, we just got to get her to drink a bottle of fire whiskey.
Like, she can make, okay, well, she could make
I
fake
wanna-
vomit noises.
I want to turn so that the mayor can't hear me and say to them, do you think the mayor could be in on it? So maybe we shouldn't be planning. We should only ask questions and then.
That's a
Yeah.
good. What would that be to try to determine whether or not they're?
Do we kind of
Is
insight
that
check
still
her already,
perception,
though,
or is there an insight, or
We
there's not an insight anymore on Pathfinder? Is it perception to see if someone's telling the truth?
Let's go with it for now. I'll read up on it, but let's go perception.
like all of us? Should we roll
I
it,
was
or
gonna
no?
say I have a +5.
Whoever would like to.
Well, I want to roll now. Jeez.
We're all watching her. Oh,
Holy crap!
You did have the idea. You were the one that was wondering.
The most
First.
not untrusting. She
Even
seems
makes
pretty
water.
kind of beleaguered and worn down from this. That she does seem to be pretty, I guess, honest in her words about the town and the shape it's in. Probably guess that she probably isn't a mole.
Well, that sucks.
No, it's good because she
I
already
know.
heard us talk about this. It could be someone else in the town though. I mean, how would they know they still have money here? I mean, they do happen to pay them every time.
Is this being done within earshot, or would you have kind of sent Ivis away? Would you guys have stepped away a little bit, just kind of gathering a bit of the atmosphere?
I'm talking open and honest about it because as a person who's done potentially devious deeds in the past, it's all suspicious to me. It's all this idea of, all right, they have to know how good or bad the town, how good or bad a shape the town's in. If they have any intelligence at all, they'll squeeze the town until it's dry, and then walk away, and either keep the artifact and sell it on the black market, or they'll just walk away and leave the artifact somewhere until the town comes back, bounces back, and then they'll come back and squeeze them again. It's a classic con job. It's a classic protection racket almost. So it's.
You think they could be making assumptions though that the town is still affluent enough to pay because they are paying?
It's
as soon as they
possible.
stop paying, then they might be wondering, like, well, maybe they don't have the money anymore. But still, they haven't.
I
They haven't-
want to send the mayor to the bar so that it's out of earshot, because even if the mayor isn't involved in it, I would like to keep her innocent in what she
Plausible
knows.
deniability.
Plausible deniability. So she isn't giving, like, subconscious signals to them tomorrow.
She'll take her drink, and as she kind of heads off, she'll make mention that a payment hasn't been missed yet, though the coffers are running dry and the belts are about as tight as we can get them.
May I ask one question? Has the method of payment changed? Did you start out giving them gold, and then silver, and now copper?
We paid in gold from the treasury, and we haven't. I guess as long as it reaches the total they've been accepting, though items of greater worth are taken and frowned upon. That gold is. Coin is what pays the ticket, as it were.
But what I'm asking is, has the type of coin changed? As the town has been squeezed dry, is the type of coin changing?
We have had on occasion to pay with other coin, and has been accepted, though begrudgingly.
Has there been a trend towards using more silver in the mix or anything, or is it just kind of random when you have to add different coin in?
Just kind of random.
All right.
Have you ever used gold jewelry and seen the reaction to it?
They take it and still demand the coin.
God damn it.
So they're idiots. Never mind. My statement is completely false at this point. They have no idea how to run an operation like this. All right.
With that, Ibis will head off to the bar to kind of hang out near Kendra for a bit in case you're going to need her in short time, but it is now the three of you alone again.
they're complete morons. They're not accepting anything but coin. So they're either morons or they're shoveling the coin somewhere else.
Maybe they
Which
don't have
means-
a way to sell jewelry. Maybe they're being squeezed by somebody else.
Or
Who only
smelt it
fixed me?
though?
Well, I mean, if they're smelting the coins down, they should be able to smelt this jewelry as well.
Right. I
So
don't think they're
either-
dumb. I think they're smart. I mean, it's a lot of effort to come back every day.
But at the same time, if I let me give this to you. You're asking me for 10 gold. Say you're asking me for 10 gold a day. And I come to you and I lay a fist-sized ruby down on the table. And you can tell it's a real ruby. What's more valuable? 10 gold coins or a fist-sized ruby?
Depends what you use it for.
Currency-wise.
Why
all
does it
they're
have to be
interested-
currency-wise?
And that's what I'm getting at. If all that they're interested in is in the money, then
But then why
the
is it-
fist-sized-
Yeah.
That's the thing that I think is the missing part here. Are they being told by something or someone else that it must be coin? And if that's the case, then we're likely not going to recover any of this town's coffers.
Was that the
I s-
ask? Or was it
Yes.
just the... No, I thought it was just the... I'm gonna say gauntlet, because I can't remember.
Get rid of this, recover the gauntlet, recover the town's coin, and we'll get rewarded.
I don't think they said town's coin. I thought they just said gauntlet. And stop the continued
Yes.
payments.
DM,
I
do
think
they
They-
Wanted
say
the coin back. 'cause
They are looking to
Yes.
get the gauntlet returned and any coin found from their ties to be split at 55 to 45
Oh, you're right.
with you.
we're not going to get paid? Probably. I'm just letting you know. I don't care either way. I think that it's a very horrible thing that these people are doing to the town. I want to take care of that, but I'm betting that if they're not doing this just for the money, something or someone is taking that coin from them, and any other items that have been given have been rejected, which means that we have a great unknown.
I was gonna say, does that help us plan at all, or does that just get us psyched up for tomorrow? Because I'm ready to hit something. Or not hit something, obviously stealth.
They will be hitting, I'm sure.
Make sure that your fists are ready.
I don't know that this complicates tomorrow's plan.
No, not at all. I'm just trying to think of what we're going to get out of it, because I'm looking forward to coming back here after tomorrow or the next day, however long it takes us, and
Well, it's
kicking
gonna
back and
take
having
us a
an ale
few
or two.
days. Because it's all gonna be free, obviously. Don't, I'm not saying this
Right.
too loud, but it's gonna take us at least a couple of days, right? Solve this mystery.
Well, to defeat
Yes,
the
it
goblins
is.
and
No,
get
it
rid of
is.
the hub. Okay, fine.
We're living
Hopefully-
high life here.
Hopefully we just have another vision. At this point, that's all I care about, because that's the only unknown in my life. And I don't like it.
Wow.
That must be nice.
Very interesting. You don't find it at all intriguing as to why these goblins are suddenly they've taken a gauntlet and are suddenly asking only for coin?
Interesting, but unless it can help me,
All right. We'll talk more later on that. That's an interesting. There's something of a interesting person. Yes.
I
Alright.
guess, is there more you care to speak with tonight? Shall we
Mm, not me.
advance the timetable, as it were?
Do we want to do Operation Sick Mayor or not? We would
No,
need
I
to
think-
start that now.
I don't
No,
think we do that.
I made it a threat. We can't do that.
What I'm expecting us to do is we'll go out and we'll follow the same trail in the forest that I did to get to that game trail, kind of shadowing the mayor in the forest, because I'm expecting she's going to walk, not run, which should make it easier for you to stealth, Kuzmik, and that way we should be able to get to that point and not arouse suspicion, hopefully.
All right, I will come up with some kind of cover story just in case I get caught. I mean, I'm probably just gonna hit it pretty hard tonight and be a little sick tomorrow.
If you get caught, tell them that your cousin, Bob, of their clan, called you here to help them because you know that they don't have adequate healing.
I was thinking with the clothing, but
no tribe has adequate. My circus didn't even have adequate healing, and we had 2 people that were practicing healers. All you do, you're a goblin, for God's sakes.
Are you saying because I'm a goblin, I can get in with the goblins? It doesn't always work like that.
No, it doesn't, but if you get caught, what are you going to do? You could try to lie and say, hey, I have a cousin in your clan that called for me.
And we'll be your backup if it
And if it goes really, really far south, I'll slit their throats while they stand in front of you gawking.
All right, well, yes, okay. I will take your plan into consideration. Your excuse if I get caught. It's not like I've never been caught doing something before, so, well, it'll be fine. We'll figure it out.
If they were long ears like me, I would do the same thing. And I'm certain if they were round ears like our friend Johanna, she would probably do the same thing as well.
Well, is that our new plan? Do you want me to just walk in and do that?
No, that's only if you get caught.
I mean, it's not the worst plan. I don't know that it'll work because, I mean, we don't. There's not like a goblin network or anything like that, but...
Right. But you do get letters from home occasionally, don't you?
Unfortunately.
See?
Okay.
Speaking of which, you'll excuse me. And I walk away to a different table. And I ask for quill and parchment.
Easily enough gathered.
Alright, fine if we're separating. I would like to go to the bar, ask Kendra for a water, and then retire to my room. As long as I don't see any signs from Bastian or anything about staying.
Okay.
Well, it takes just, I'm going to ask that it takes as long as her to get the water as I'm taking. I walk up to Kendra as she's giving the water to Johanna and hand her a folded letter and a couple silver and say, could you please make certain that this gets to, I'm sorry, I forgot the name of the town that he's in. My foster father.
No history.
That town.
Yes.
Could you please make sure that this gets to that town? And all you can, if you're looking at it, Johanna, there's a scrawl that says, man, I've got to look at my backstory again. It's been a long time. This is why I wanted to look at my character, because I thought it was in my backstory, and it's not.
It's in Discord. I'll get it all added here shortly.
Yeah. Basically, there's a name on there, Dr. Something, and you can't necessarily make out the actual full name. But I handed to him, I'm sorry, Dr. Hendricks. And I handed it to her and asked them to get this to the town. And give a slight nod and wander up to my room.
Is it sealed?
Not totally, no.
Just so you know, the town is Kittereth.
Kittereth, thank you.
Alright, I'll just nod and then, go to my room. But I'm definitely reading this letter, because it's not sealed, you can't tell.
Well,
and I'm a great liar,
so
I'm sure.
it was handed to Kendra, I believe, to be sent
God.
out.
Yes, it was.
I'm gonna steal from Kendra! No, I'm just kidding.
So I'm the only one down here still, looks like.
As we're walking up the stairs, kind of together, I assume, between Johanna and I kind of look back and say, curious, aren't you?
Deathly.
We'll talk later. Right now, I'm tired. Needless to say, I was writing to my family. And I go to my room and I retire for the night.
Same.
I get up and walk outside.
Okay. Probably decently late in the night. Time-wise. Yeah, the night is relatively cool. Still relatively decent temperature. Sky, maybe partly cloudy. Oh my goodness, now I gotta remember all the rest of my names. Letha, the white moon, is probably a bit of a sliver in the sky. Nightlear would be not really visible at this point in the evening, and Salil, you would be able to track on occasion through the clouds. Probably. Hold on, I gotta do my math again.
Hey, DM, it's 9 o'clock.
Yeah, we're getting there in a second. Feel free if you need to run, you can. Yeah, but yes, right after this we will. Yep. Probably at a decently high point in the sky. But I guess the evening is yours at the moment.
I will go over to Kale's house.
Okay. With this, because this
You
may
wanna
get
pause it?
involved, I think it's a good time to pause. All right, everyone, with that, we're going to take a quick little bathroom break, refill our drinks. We will be back kind of in a few minutes to see what trouble or shenanigans Kuzmik gets into.
It'll be nothing.
But yes, so we will be back here shortly, so feel free to take a break as well, and we will be ready to kick her off again here soon. So see ya in just a little bit. Bye. Ooh. I just thought of something. Welcome back, everyone. Just had a quick idea. Someone's doing a little clandestine activity. Better get some music out to see what happens with this. Let's see. I'm going to go actually back to here. Back to the sleepy town of Godsheim. Well, when we left off, again, thank everyone for coming back, but Kuzmik was off into the night, just leaving the Smiling Skull Inn with, it sounds like, a pension to head toward Kale Lightfoot's abode. So, Kuzmik, what you doing?
Well, I'm gonna sneak on down there as quiet as I can. Not looking suspicious on the street, just walking, chilling. But when I get to Kale's house, I'm gonna scout around for his window if I can. I don't know what his house looks like, but
Okay, why don't first off, why don't you give a stealth check while I explain a bit. The house is a pretty simple abode. Small porch out front, of course, with that sign kind of hanging above the door. Probably, or definitely a 2-story building. The front windows seem to be shuttered or closed and covered with a cloth of some sort. Scent or gentle candlelight beyond it. Circling around will maybe catch through some of the darkened windows a kitchen kind of in the back. Circling back around maybe through a different angle to see forward kind of towards the front of the house would be a kind of a small table with a couple chairs around it. Probably catch a glance of some narrow stairs in back heading up to the second level, but doesn't really seem to be any sleeping arrangements on the first level. But your stealth check, please.
I am having problems again. I've got stealth chosen, but no dice are letting me roll them except the perception dice. I had a problem with this last time too, and I can't remember what I did.
I need to step away for 1 second. I am still listening.
No
but I need to
worries.
Step away.
Okay. There's a...
Well, I'm able to roll, so I don't know.
Is just the dice right next to like the drop down menu, right?
It's the skills, so the
Yeah, you
same
can
as
actually
the-
go to your skills at that hotbar. That kind of appears if you click on your character, which I kind of dropped on the page. Or, like, are you able to open up your character sheet?
Yep, I got it open.
It's like the 5th one, the hand.
Oh, okay. I think I can... I don't remember looking at this before, but that doesn't mean anything. Alright, stealth.
Top, yeah.
Okay. Look at that great roll. 4.
I was just gonna say, I like your dice more than mine, but never mind.
They look cool, but...
Yeah.
Okay. Being as stealthy as you ever are, probably making a little bit of noise. The clouds seem to block. Oh my goodness! The clouds seem to block Letha, the moon, pretty well, so you don't think anything kind of saw you that way. Made a bit of noise, and you do catch one time. You kind of catch a little bit of a flower bush, some kind of thing near the house at one point. Then you kind of have to yank your clothes back from kind of getting stuck in it, and you look back up into the window and you see a single kind of gold cat's eye staring back at you. Not doing anything at the moment, but just kind of watching you.
A single gold cat's eye?
Yeah. From like the little slit that you can kind of see sticking out. It's like something kind of watching.
You're lucky, Kale. I look up at where Salil is. I say, thank you for showing me that. Thank you for the guidance. I am going to abort this mission. And then I whip around and head back to the bar. to the inn.
Okay.
Yeah.
A drink to drown your sorrows. Right to bed.
I'm gonna go right up and straight to bed.
Okay.
I'm not, this does not ruin my sleep. I'm out in a second.
Sure. Okay. Well,
I tell the others nothing.
we'll jump to the morning then. It is the next day. Hastian probably awake decently early, whether or not, you can kind of decide when you come on down, but you're probably the first awake. The other two, the beds for everyone, quite comfortable, a little relatively cramped, but they have had plenty of space in the inn for you, because you are the only three actually renting any rooms at the moment. And I guess I leave it all to you when you would wish to come on down.
I'm pretty much up at dawn, since elves do not need as much sleep as the short lives.
I mean, I probably sleep in until someone raps on my door and says, get moving. What are you doing in there, Guzmik? Because I had late night activities. I'm a little tired.
Yeah, we don't know about that though.
Yeah, we just think I'm lazy. Which
I
you're
feel
not
like-
wrong.
I feel like I would be up at dawn, but I would go for a short little walk. Just like around the town.
Okay. The short walk around the town is this early. Probably a few people kind of heading off to the south, possibly farmhands of some such. The stables behind the inn aren't terribly fragrant, and not a whole lot of sound coming from there. On your lap, you do pass the Sun's Rising, the bakery, and smells pretty darn good coming from there this morning. Maybe a couple shops kind of cracking open, but for the most part, it's a pretty sleepy morning. All right. Well, I'll say probably Hastian and Joanna would end up back at the inn, or down in the hall eating breakfast. Guzmik, nowhere to be seen at this point, but is still pretty early.
So how curious are you?
I want to make a funny comment about not repeating myself, but I'm deathly curious, and I will repeat myself for curiosity's sake.
All right.
I will buy you any drink you want.
Remember, we're being provided everything gratis.
That's why I'm offering it right now.
Excellent. You see my outfit, and the armor is not something that normally a stealthy person would wear. It's mostly black, but there's shots of white and red and yellow throughout the armor. My adopted father, the person who raised me, his name was Dr. Hastian. He used to run a circus. He trained me in a great many things. I can walk a tightrope. No one you could believe. When I'm in practice, it's not guaranteed, but I do that. I perform. I got very good at sleight of hand. I can do things like, this is why you don't want me to use my cards, and I take out a deck of cards and I shuffle them without having them touch the table. Fan them out, put them back together, do all kinds of little card tricks. and then they're gone without you seeing me put them anywhere. I'm a performer, but not in the way that some people would think. I'm not a person that stands up on stage and sings ballads of love and princes and princesses. I'll show you things. I'll make you believe that I'm a moment from death's door and then suddenly appear just fine. I learned a lot of things on how to set things up, like tents and traps, because you wouldn't believe how many people think that the circus has a lot of money. They believe just because we have exotic animals and we have them kept fairly well fed that we must have funds to spare. What they neglect to remember is that those funds go to feeding the animals. So I learned how to trap things for my father so that he didn't lose his money and any of the items that the circus needed to continue to perform. It's been 50 years, 60 years that I've been with him, and he's unfortunately not doing well. So I write to him about my adventures so that he can feel as if he's still out in the world, traveling and entertaining people, enjoying his time. So if you ever see me with quill and paper and want to know, that's likely what I'm doing.
Is that why you traveled? To make him happy?
No, well, yes and no. You see, I don't know who my real parents are. I was found, you see. I was found by a town that was decimated. And I know not if my parents survived or passed on. And all I know is that I'm different than all of you lot, because I've seen most of the people that I perform with die. There's only 2 or 3 left. I was traveling to see the twins, as they were called, Highwire Act, and I found them and talked with them, and not doing well. So now I'm off here to find out why I'm being drawn to this place and to adventure, so that I have something to tell my father as to what I've been doing.
Hopefully we make him proud.
I hope so. He's very proud of me already, but I hope that he finds some joy in what I explained to him. I told them that I had met someone who I thought would be able to rival our strongman in the day, in you, and that in their prime, the cannonball would have probably enjoyed Guzman's company.
I enjoy Guzmik's company.
Oh, I do as well. But the cannonball had cannonball was of Guzmik's type. He was a goblin. Enjoyed taking the risk of being shot out of a cannon or thrown via a catapult across a tent. Thrill seeker, that one. Sorry to see him go. But anyway, on to better topics.
On the somber note of that, Guzmik's still not downstairs. And I wouldn't say it's getting to mid-morning, but it is. Time is a-crawling, and you are unsure exactly when you'll be called to action.
I would like to go to the bar and ask Kendra for an oatmeal and some water. And then I will take that and knock on Guzmik's door pretty aggressively.
I'll leave it to Guzmik if she was still sleeping or whatnot, and leave you at it.
What? What? Where am I? Oh. Oh. Who is it?
Oh, oatmeal. Food. Free food.
Sounds like Joanne. I'll go to the door. Open it. Well, thank you. This is excellent. Where's my sausage? Is it coming?
It is downstairs once you join us.
Oh, okay. You do wanna? Uh, okay.
I think Hastian is waiting, so once you finish, just go ahead and join us downstairs.
I'll just come downstairs and eat down there with you. Don't mind my breath. It's fine. I'll try not to breathe on you.
I won't mind at all.
I'll just come down the steps like just looking a mess with my oatmeal and my glass of water behind Joanna.
Oh, lovely to see you.
Sit down. Looks like you guys are early risers. We're gonna get along not that great in the morning.
Did you have a rough night or something?
No, I'm just you don't know. You don't know. I do like to sleep in quite a bit. But I know we have something to do today. I just, I'm not at home working, so it's kind of like a vacation of, whatever. So don't even worry about it though. It's okay. I'll get up. We have work to do. I eat the oatmeal. Sip daintily on the water. Good water. So, how are we feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling quite well. I'm ready to go in and see if we can make sense of this entire thing and hopefully save the town, and maybe they'll even put a statue up for us.
If they did a statue, like, what kind of pose would you want them to do of you? It's important to visualize these things ahead of time to promote success in your project. Oh, sorry, I wasn't looking. I was looking for my words. Do the pose again.
Actually, I think I'd want it to be the rapier up and the dagger just ready to go. Dagger down, rapier up. Staring with the blade between my eyes, probably going cross-eyed while I wait for the carver to finish his job.
That's pretty badass. What would you do, Joanna?
Not to take over his creative license, but I would like to join his, just right behind him, peek over his shoulder with my fist ready.
Nice. Very nice.
I would, since we're the trio hero, we can workshop that name, but the trio hero, I would stand to the other side of Hestian, but in the front,
I like the name Hastian and Friends.
You can like it.
That.
You can like it.
And Hastian's laughing at that too. No, of course not. I don't want my name out there.
I think I would stand in front of you to the side. Maybe I would. I think I'm reaching out. No, I think I'm reaching this way. Yeah, gotta see the,
Our teeth, yes. Excellent.
I can picture that out in the square.
Do remind me of the human cannon, of the cannonball. He was very much like you. Didn't like getting up in the morning. Bared his teeth at you if he was really. Although you have better dental hygiene than they did.
Oh well, we had a good plan back home. Every 6 months. I thought it was excessive, but we would go every 6 months and get our teeth cleaned.
Yes, I understand.
Doesn't it seem excessive to you, though?
No.
Not if it's free.
Well, it wasn't free, but it was.
Not if it's included. Mandatory? Required?
I don't. There's a lot going on there with what you're saying. The money didn't factor in. I didn't like going all the time. I thought it was too much. It's irrelevant. You know. Do we have a plan?
Yes.
What are we? We do? Are
Yes,
we
we
gonna
talked about it last night.
follow them? Okay.
When
We're
the
gonna
bell
follow
tolls.
them.
Exactly.
But on
Actually,
a
I think
different
we should go.
trajectory.
I think we should go out there now before the bell tolls and set ourselves up and wait for the tolling of the bell so that we're not seen walking out with the mayor, because I think that may have been part of the problem with all of the others. So if we set ourselves up right there and wait for the mayor to come out and watch for this path, then we can simply walk the woods at the wood line to here and keep an eye out for the scouts that are watching. My hope, and this is I'm hinging a lot on faith here. My hope is that the scouts will be there looking for the mayor to do what the mayor is supposed to do, and not watching within the woods for us.
Yeah. Okay. How much time do we have until the bell rings? Rough.
30 minutes.
Oh shit. Let's go.
Well, all right. I'm not ready. Just a second, and I run upstairs. I just get my, all my gear on and stuff. I did not sleep in my shirt, my chain shirt. I do that as fast as I can. Leave all the other junk the way it looks, and I'm ready to go now. I probably delayed us 5 minutes.
I was gonna say, while she's doing that, I kind of want to just start walking to. It depends on how far it is, but if I go by myself, maybe a monk by yourself, walking nature, I could kind of scout ahead as if I'm just on a walk. See if
All right,
scouts are
go.
already in position. All right, I'm gonna go.
Okay.
So
I'll
I'll just walk
check
to
this
the stump.
You're heading to the stump?
Ooh. Well, not when you ask it like that.
Just checking.
No, we're in the woods.
I
We're
didn't.
going through the
She
woods.
said I thought she said
Stay
stump.
away from that stump, bro.
Fine, alright, I'll go to the woods.
Regardless, as you reach kind of the gatehouse, kind of down off to the south, down here, you might get a one of the guards may kind of stop you for a moment and ask what you and what might you be doing this morning?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was just taking my daily walk. I was gonna meditate a little bit while listening to the wind. Is this a bad time? I don't want to put anyone in a bad position.
Yes, this exit's closed for the for a bit this morning. It might be a little unsafe out there, so we're gonna keep it closed for a bit. Might try the south exit.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I kind of had my sights on some of the nature to the north of the town. Is the other exit towards the west open, or is it the whole area?
The northwest might be safe enough for you.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so sorry to have intruded or Made your job harder.
Right. Off you go.
I will head back to the inn and let the others know that we have a slight detour.
Maybe that's for the best. I'm going to be so loud, right? I mean, it's been a concern that I'm going to make some noise with my chain shirt, so maybe we go around the other way.
I don't like this at all. I don't like it at all. We need to go up there. No. We are far too far away from the stump on the northwest entrance. I'm gonna just start walking out the door.
Oh, hi, hey, I don't want to grab your shirt because that's insulting. But I'm gonna say, hold up, wait a minute.
Did you tell them why we were going out that exit?
Oh, I did not. My main concern was that possibly a guard at that exit was a not a wolf, a scapegoat. Or no, wait, not a scapegoat.
A wolf in
a
sheep's
mole,
clothing.
a mole. Sorry, wrong animal. A mole.
This is a good show.
Good point.
I might need a whiskey before we go.
Cheers to that.
But good point. I did not let him know.
Come on.
Are we leaving now all together en masse?
Come on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Guess Mike slams down her water.
I walk up to the gate.
It's closed at the moment, I'm afraid.
Mayor sent us. Let us through.
Official business.
Dropping the
You don't let
mayor.
us through. You don't let us through. The mayor's gonna be really freaking pissed. And we're here to do a job. You're preventing me from doing that job. You might want to. What was the name of the two guards that we pummeled?
Bryce and Oliver.
You might want to check with Bryce and Oliver as to why and when we are supposed to be delayed in the job that we're supposed to be doing for the mayor. So please open the gate, close the mouth, and walk away.
Give me a intimidation check.
You? That's not it. That's not it. There it is. Oh, I'm not very intimidating. Not at all. Holy crap.
He'll, despite the obvious threat, it was more the name drop of the mayor, or saying that you were on official business and putting the pieces together, probably would, kind of bring the story together, and will step down from his little perch, maybe, a couple feet up, and will kind of bring you in to say, if you are here to be helping, be careful that what you do does not endanger the mayor.
They're not going to know that we're there, and we're not going to do anything until the mayor's gone. Don't worry about it. I appreciate your candor. I have to tell you, anyone finds out that we're out there, come back and I'm going to look for you. Just so you know, because you're the only one that knows that we're business of the mayor, aside from the two that are the tavern keeps. And if anything happens to me or my friends, we're going to have words later. Savvy?
He
Just like you
kind of
have
got a
words
little
with
bored
me.
partway through, and would have started moving towards the door to usher you all out, and we'll kind of send you off, and we'll mention, stay to the south of the road if you could, and we'll close the door behind you. The plan.
That went well.
And fuck that guy in particular. just gonna walk right down the road towards the forest.
Okay.
Are you coming or not?
Well, let's put a smile on that face before we get started, huh? Okay, what's the best way to start a day? An important mission. Optimism. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'll start walking too.
Okay, so you reach the edge of the woods, still on the path. Unsure exactly when the meeting will occur. I leave it all to you. Oh, the main road, not the.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're up here.
Correct.
I'm gonna just look at the other two and say, okay. So the most important part at this point is that we continue to try to be very quiet in our speaking and things like that. Hopefully, the sound of the woods and everything else will cover any sounds that we make that are way too outside of normal. With that, I'm going to say, okay, from now on, just go that way towards where the stump is. Keep our eyes peeled. Keep continuously looking for what's going on.
All right, why don't you all make a stealth check for me, please? And remember, the three of
I
you
love
do still
modifier.
have a hero point. That was
Highest.
Joanna. Just so you know, you did roll a 3 plus the 6. It is.
I
in
know,
there.
that's why I said I love modifiers.
gotcha,
That's
gotcha.
how bad it was.
Gotcha. Okay.
Do you guys want me to use my hero point?
No, not at this point.
Okay. Just
We'll
checking.
probably need it later.
Yeah.
Your call, though.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to use it, go ahead and use it, but that means that you can't use it later. And I'm not trying to tell you how to play, but
Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
I will not use it.
So you have all seen kind of the, we'll call it a game trail, that path through the woods that seems to have been the path most taken. You kind of know, where the bell is out in the woods. How far away would you like to set up from that area? You've probably
How far
got
is it from the-
a good 200 feet from that road to that meeting point.
This road here to the
Yeah,
Trunk?
so
stump?
let me see if I
It's
can
further
do
than
Yeah.
this. Aha, here. That's what I was looking for. This area,
Ah!
we'll
Oh my
probably
God.
say is
Sorry.
about 200 feet.
okay. So I'm thinking that we set up Johanna, when you saw what were obviously points that there were points for people to watch from, how far away from the meeting point or the break in the trees were they? Because I don't want to get inside of there. I want to be outside of that area. So like if the meeting point's here and there's a scout point here, I want to be here.
The dot on the screen will be approximately where the bell is.
Okay, and where would Johanna have seen
Within
the
10 to 15 feet of that area.
Okay, so then like if that's I wanna be
Sorry, the
somewhere
white
in, like,
dot is
there.
the bell?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not a good bell, it's just a bell. It's it looks
the
more
bell-
like a pot than a bell.
Kind of.
The noise device
Yes.
Yes.
is right there.
So thinking if the scout places are here I want to just be a little bit away from them.
So
On
say
the outside, so
20 feet from the scouting position, maybe?
yes.
Okay.
Towards the road?
It's-
You want to be towards the road or on the other side
yeah,
of the road?
towards the road.
And
Um,
I guess the other two, are you planning to be that close? You planning to be a little farther away?
When we looked at the road or at the worn path, could we tell if it went left or right or straight?
It kind of winds its way a bit off to the north.
So no.
It's kind of straight, heading this direction away.
Can we see
Okay.
any? I feel like I'd have to roll for it. I kind of want to go on the other side of the bell.
This side?
Yeah.
Kind of do too. I'm worried of being close to on that side, this side of the road. I can't make any more clicks.
I want to go on the left side, but maybe a little farther into the woods than Guzmik, just because I don't have any armor or anything and am more silent.
Oh, I'm noisy. I should be pretty far away though. I should be further than you. If
Well,
wanna not
I was
give ourselves
thinking
away.
watching them as they come in or leave.
So
So we're all gonna be separated. Is that what we want?
well,
I think
we're
it'd be harder to
still,
spot us.
Okay.
but we all know that as soon as they take the stuff, before we separate, I'm going to say as soon as they take the reward, the tithe, and move towards the woods, and these two, if there's anyone that goes up in the trees, comes down, we start following them.
Yep. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Well, we want to make sure that anyone that's up in the tree has already come down.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. And that was the tree thing was where on this map?
it's pretty much right near the bell.
Okay.
So if we're gonna say, Joanna, kind of, you're planning to be a little bit closer to the path coming in. Sounds to me, and based on your stealth, you talking 30 to 40 feet, kind of from the bell and path area, kind of along it to the north.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Guzmik, I guess, what's your distance? You're probably looking a little more to the west, I believe.
More to the west, and I think 60 feet.
Okay.
For me.
Why don't the three of you make a perception check for me, please?
Plenty.
All right.
21.
17.
Who is seeing everything?
With that, you will each catch on to a bit of noise coming from the woods, not being terribly stealthy, of some light footfalls, maybe smacking a couple trees and branches and bushes, that something is heading your way. Probably best time to make sure that you're hidden and stealthed in position. So, in your position, are you planning to be up in a tree, in a bush, just hiding behind a tree? Just kind of general where I know that in case you get spotted.
I'd like to be in a tree since I'm pretty deep, and I feel like that would be a better way.
Okay.
I'm going to hide just behind a tree. Try to find a tree that's, fairly large and has underbrush around it. So not a conifer.
Plenty of options.
Okay.
Guzmik will look for some bush cover on the ground.
As far away as you are from that area, there's probably plenty. So with that, why don't you all take a moment to hide yourselves and wait with bated breath and roll another stealth check.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. I've done it twice where I like crossed my fingers and it's been a good roll. I'm gonna have to keep doing it until it messes up.
God damn, Joanna. Nice.
Yeah, 26. Oh, God.
Good stuff.
But the important part about that is it was a natural 20. It actually depends on what Ty is doing for house rules, but like in some places, house rules say a natural 20 always succeeds.
I'm stealthy.
Against a target of, you know, a level of appropriateness. So like if there was a dragon with them, it'd be like, yeah, no. Even a natural 20, you're fucked.
Yeah,
But
we've got a 23 from Hastian, a natural 20 for 26 for Joanna. Guzmek, you're at a 12. Are you using your hero point, or are you going to hold that?
That is a great question.
Everyone's only got one so far, so it is a bit tenuous until we get some donations for some more hero points.
If you re-roll, do you get the highest one? If the second one's
I'll
bad?
allow it to treat it as the lucky, where you can choose which one you want.
I feel like 12 is okay for this. I
She's
feel
far away.
like a gambling Guzmek. I'm gonna go with 12.
Okay.
Hope I don't regret it. Hope I don't get the mayor killed.
So as you are hidden in your perspective viewpoints and able to kind of keep an eye on the group, a pack of 4 goblins head in your direction.
Real quick, can I see if any are already in the trees?
No one had been there while you guys were walking around.
Okay.
It is just these 4 coming along, which is probably good because you probably would have walked right under them. But the 4 goblins come down the path, a bit well-worn in their clothes, relatively healthy and hearty. They don't seem like they're starving to any extent. A couple pretty vicious looking blades that they're kind of hauling and holding around. One is even swinging it around as a kind of a machete to chop down a couple branches. A pair of them have, well, one holds a small short bow and another holds a crossbow. And kind of gathering to that section near the bell, let's see. Guzmek, I believe, will be probably too far away for hearing too much. Joanna only knows Common. Hastian, Common Elven. They pause for a moment to speak with each other, kind of huddled up. But it does seem relatively practiced movements. 2 of them do climb up into the trees that you had identified earlier and kind of prepare themselves. Another one steps a bit towards Hastian and kind of does like him, hiding behind a tree with that has a decent bush underneath it. And one will kind of stand around for a moment and dig underneath the bell to pull out kind of a small stick, kind of mallet that was sitting underneath it, and will strike the bell. The tone coming off it is definitely discordant. It is quite a bit beat up, and Hastian and Guzmek, you're probably close enough to the edge of the woods that you're able to see the mare kind of head her way out and work her way up the path. Joanna, being a little farther north, probably don't have the best view of it, but about the time that she gets to the stump would probably come into view. And as she reaches the stump, really no fear, kind of a practice movement, will pull out a coin purse and lay out 5 coins, not stacked all together, just lay them out all separately, and will turn about and head back into town. Before she's even halfway back, the goblin who rang the bell will have sprinted out, gathered all the coins, and will head back in, where the one goblin still on the ground will run up to them, and they'll both kind of count the coins and will call up to the 2 in the trees. And at that point will be loud enough that Guzmik, you would hear it to understand of, come on, let's go. And they will drop off and head out their way. But with that, we'll kind of look around once more, since in all this narration I completely forgot to roll the stealth checks to find you guys. So we'll see if they see anything on the way out.
No, I think it means that they just don't get to.
Missed your chance, Dungeon Master.
That's a good idea, but
No!
Not tonight.
one of them, in their kind of hurry to get going, kind of glance around a bit, keeping an eye on the goblin returning. And when they hear, they're kind of scanning away, and as they're scanning to turn back towards the grouping and heading kind of overlooking towards Guzmik, here's the call that, let's go, and will kind of turn away quick, and that moment glancing over where Guzmik was to drop down and head off to the north again, passing relatively closely to Joanna, following the path and heading beyond up to the north. How far along would you like them to get going before you start to pursue?
I'll let them get about 60 feet from me.
Okay.
Are they like hauling ass, or are they just walking?
They're probably moving at a relatively brisk pace, but they're not being chased down to a sprint, and they're not enjoying a leisurely walk. They are on a mission.
Okay.
How far away are you from me?
Probably about 60 feet, 50 feet. So you're kind of reaching the point where they've passed under you, passed beyond you, getting along a little ways. Hastian has now since kind of, you've noticed that he moved back into view near the bell quickly. Probably now at about, 100 feet beyond. Maybe just kind of let him go and follow the path, or are you trying to stick really close?
I'm trying to stay fairly close to him.
Guzmik and Joanna?
Yeah, me too. Maybe within one move. So,
About 100
50
feet? 50 feet?
Yeah.
100 feet. Which one?
Oh, wow. 100 feet now. Your mistake, buddy.
Well,
No, I'm just kidding.
Hastian was planning about 60, it sounded like.
60 from him though. Oh. Before moving?
No, I'm trying to keep only about 60 feet between me and the goblins.
Guzmik will try to keep herself behind Joanna, but I definitely want to keep Hestian in sight. I think Guzmik will be like 30 feet behind Hestian. Maybe further behind if Joanna wants to be in front of her. You are.
I want to go in front, so I'm gonna do 50 feet.
Okay.
This natural 20 is making me real.
She's riding the
confident.
natural 20 pretty high. Okay.
All right. Well, I'll be right behind her then, basically.
All right. So relatively
Ish.
close to all together. Then you'll be in pursuit of the goblins. It'll be a little hard to keep up if they are moving at a decent pace and you are all trying to be stealthy. Or are you kind of giving up stealth a little bit with knowing their general direction?
Still trying to be somewhat stealthy.
There's a lot of caves.
Yes, there are. That's why I said somewhat stealthy. I'm not like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be seen. But at the same time, I'm trying to be quiet enough that because they are on a mission, their heads are probably not on swivels. They did not see us, to our knowledge.
And they've been doing this for a while unaccosted, so
Right.
we may assume that they are confident that nobody's following them.
It's 4 heads though. Only one of them needs to keep watch.
Well, and that's why I'm going with what Shelley said, is that, in my opinion, because they've been doing this for a while, I don't necessarily have to be the shadow in the night. I can be, the wind in the trees and still make a little bit of noise and use my speed to keep up with them, but try to be as silent as I can. So it's not like I'm not delaying my movement to go from there. You know what I mean?
Guzmik is not really trying to be quiet anymore because she feels like she's far enough behind, but she isn't like jiggling her chain shirt or anything.
All right.
Yeah.
Why don't the three of you make another stealth check then?
Okay. This is so complicated.
Ah, crap.
Need a bad roll. I'm too confident.
Mm-mm. You just
Did
keep
all right.
that confidence rolling.
All right. Sure. With the stealth checks, you're not being the most stealthy. Some of you aren't. Others of you are trying to keep pace. It's just not the same if I'm rolling just myself so you guys don't hear it. Should roll them on screen so everyone hears the dice rolling and get all that tension.
There's tension. Don't worry.
Is there? I don't know. Enough long pauses will get you all to break. I'll say you have a couple scares. A broken twig from one of their cuttings when they were chopping their way through. Maybe trying to hide near a brush as you're walking along, and you kind of catch it a bit, and it rustles. And they'll be maybe a little bit on guard, maybe a moment even where they'll turn back on occasion. But with those stealth checks, probably decent enough not to get caught, and still kind of keep them in a decent view of where you are. You, after approximately, I think, 10 minutes of going along and trying to follow them, you start seeing a thinning of the wood line. The terrain has started to get a little more hilly, a couple knolls here and there, kind of rising points that the game trail had kind of woven its way around. And they seem to kind of pick up pace a little bit, and they're making their way headlong. And as you kind of reach the edge of the deeper portion of the woods, you see the trees start to thin and then nearly fall away altogether, as a number of kind of caves. There's probably 2 directly in front of you, and you can see off to the sides. There's kind of a few more possible entrances. Nothing really as large as the 2 directly in front of you, and the 4 of them head into the right side cave. I guess I'll leave it to you. There really wasn't much of a turn back to look to see if anyone was following them. But what would you all like to do, seeing them head off into the cave?
I don't think we follow right away.
Oh, I want to fight. Fine.
All right, fine, let's go. Just warning you, though. A lot of times charging headlong into danger does not turn out well. I'll do my best.
You sound like a mom. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Yeah, we could do that, but it's a bad idea.
I'm 70 years old. I was raised by people like yourself. Yes, I sound like your mother. I'm sorry.
Guzmek?
We're thinking about going in right now, huh?
Just go.
They wouldn't be expecting it, that's for sure. Now's a great time. I'm ready.
All right.
We don't know anything in there, but who else is gonna come help us? Nobody, so let's just do this.
Alright, are you heading in with any sort of stealth, or just not making your presence known, just kind of heading in? Or are you announcing your presence very loudly and boisterously?
No.
Might as well do stealth unless it's a bad roll.
Yeah, let's go for stealth, I think, right?
Okay.
We don't want to... Yeah, okay. Yep.
Let's get another stealth check then, to see now that we're entering the cave here.
We spent so long planning, with no plan. There we go. Humble me. Sorry, guys.
Well...
I'm so glad that I'm around people like...
Thanks, Mom.
Hero point.
Oh, should I? Yeah, that was a 4.
You could do it.
It's all up to you.
What else did we get? 18 and a 14?
Yep. I might use mine. Actually, I'm going to use mine.
Let it be known, Chain Shirt is consistently doing okay here.
Okay, spend yours. I'll see how it goes. Or I can spend mine and you see how it goes.
We're keeping the 14.
Yeah.
Oh.
There
that
goes your
blows.
hero point.
Do I spend it then?
Up to you.
No!
Yes, it's always up to you. I spent mine. Because I have faith that my dice will actually start rolling better.
Okay. Fine.
Okay.
It's better.
Much better.
All right. Pretty good news. As you head in, you catch, in that moment between bright light of the sun to the darkness of a cave, Guzmek and Joanna are able to catch the momentary sight of a tripwire, and with enough reaction time are also able to cause or give pause to Hastian, and were stopped right before you stepped onto the tripwire, to where when you look off to the side, you see bits and bobs of metal at stone. It seems like it was a relatively crude noise trap that would give away that you were sneaking. Also, thank you, Bleak Season, who donated 300 bits. The three of you each now have 1 additional hero point.
Awesome. Thank you, Blake.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much,
Bleak.
I'll sit here without any for a while, but that is okay.
Yes, as you should.
They will get to me eventually. All right.
Or they won't.
They will.
Not at all. Can I use my thievery skill to try to disarm the trap?
Sure.
It's a wire trap. Can't we just step over it?
Or you could step over it.
Well, that begs the question: what's the DM gonna make us do to try to step over it?
Yeah, you can probably step over it just fine.
Okay.
So at the point
We'll do
now,
that then.
players, be careful where you move your characters. No moving through walls or nothing. But the cave standing before you is open to the sun and the hills behind you, and the cave deeper in front of you. No goblins stand before you. Here we go. Though
No, you're not displaying the map for the.
Yeah, it's up now. You are able to catch a tell of a further entrance or a cave system kind of hidden by the edge. Joanna, it is pretty dark in here and going to be difficult for you to see farther on since you are human. Hastian, you might have a little bit of difficulty because you have low light vision. Guzmik, you're able to see in here pretty clearly.
Don't worry, guys. I got ya. I got your back.
I am going to move along the wall there and try to stealth and just peek around the corner.
Sure, we'll hold your same stealth that you've kind of had. At this point, there's no tell of anything in front of you. You'll have to reset that you want to grab your character.
I couldn't figure out how someone did the ruler.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. No worries. Just want to make sure that you
Explain
can
with it.
move your characters as you wish. Seem at this point, no surprises at the moment. No one immediately hiding behind the corner. Do you continue on? I guess I'll leave it all to you.
Do you guys want me to go first since I can see? I mean, loud maybe, but I feel like I got this chain shirt quieted down a bit.
Up to you. If you want to go first, I'm not going to argue.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you one thing, though. If you see any more of those, tripwires or anything like that, let me know. We'll try to disarm them.
Okay. Got it.
Are you leaving Joanna in the dark? Are you assisting her along,
No.
or is she lighting a torch?
I
Joanna,
don't want to light a torch. I just want to be able to
get the shit
Oh,
out of
I
here.
don't know how to turn the ruler off. I'm so sorry.
Click on the thing that looks like a person right above the ruler.
I just want to stick with them close enough to where I can still see them, but I want to be towards the back.
I'm going to say, Johanna, put your hand on my shoulder.
Deal.
I've got you.
But I'm gonna commit to this.
All right. I guess feel free to advance along for a little bit.
Just keep
Ooh, here we go.
doing this.
Yeah, take it slow at your.
Did I just trip a music thing? That makes me real nervous.
I am in
I
front of
can't see.
Hastian, but yeah, I'm grabbing onto your back at the same time.
It won't let me move.
up one and then over. It's the wall collision.
There we go.
Oof! Run into my back.
So I'm right with you.
Okay, yeah, continuing along for a little bit, the passage is a relatively narrow passage. At some points, squeaking through, the initial setup was maybe only a couple feet across, but widens out relatively quickly. It's quite rough-hewn stone. You see a bit of maybe workmanship to wide some areas, but for the most part, it's a relatively kind of natural cave system back in here.
Okay. Can Guzmak just take a peek on the ground? Does it look? Can I see any tracks? Like maybe just the set of 4, or are there more?
Sure, why don't you give a perception check?
Okay. Ooh, dirty 20.
I'd say it's really hard to even tell the number of footsteps. A decent amount of dust in here, though, could give you that there have been plenty of paths in and out. Plenty of footsteps taken in and out. You're kind of unsure the number. You can probably guess you can find more than 4 heading in each direction.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna keep going.
Continuing on slowly as you do. Still nothing jumps out that there is a ambush waiting for you. The closeness of Joanna to Hastian, a bit maybe nerve-wracking. Joanna, this is really dark in here. No light at all, and something that you are pretty unused to. Guzmak having enough goblin training and heritage down here. Maybe not at home, but being able to see in grayscale and not being found out, as it were, or you know, it's a bit cramped, a bit tight, but still safe.
I get up next to Guzmak and I say, look, I don't know if you know how to do this or not, but do you have any idea how to make a bit of light? Because while I don't mind leading our friend on through this cave, it would be better if I had a bit of light to see by. I don't have quite the same vision as you do.
I can give light for us to see, but I feel like that might give us away.
I take out a silver piece, cast it on this.
Okay, Guzmak turns around. I understand the need to see. So I turn around and I just face Hestian.
And I'm doing this with the silver piece so that what is that way, the way that we're going deeper into the cave is shielded.
Yep.
So that
and
she
I will
go ahead.
I'll cast light through my creepy black pointed fingernail, and I'll tap that coin.
And I hold it in my hand so that all the light cannot get out. It's not doing a 10-foot, or it's not doing a torchlight type light anymore. It's basically shining through my hand.
Okay.
I am going to watch in amazement and ask Hestian, what is the point if we can't let the light go forward?
You can see now.
Backwards?
We are in dim light, which will not alert our prey, our quarry, to us. I can see better. You can somewhat see, but we're not alerting who's around here, hopefully, to our presence.
Maybe
Makes
you
sense?
guys want to just stay around the corner of this lip here, because I don't know what's around the corner. I'm just gonna peek.
Go ahead.
Just in case there's any little bit of light you got.
Right.
So I'll go up to there.
What do you see?
I'll go caw. Like,
Go, go, go!
So at this
come up here,
point,
come up here.
you're able
Yeah?
to see the cave still winds a bit forward, and you can catch at kind of the point up here a bit of faint light kind of exiting from up the path ahead, whether it's a larger cavern or it is something else.
I'm gonna take a step back here and wait for them to catch up to me. And I'm gonna just say, there's some light up there. Keep your hand over that coin or we're dead. Acknowledge my words, Hestian.
Yes, I heard you.
Okay. I don't know, sometimes...
I'm going to warn you, though, that if things get a bit heated, drop in the coin so she can see.
Yeah.
And I can have my dagger.
Yeah. Understood.
At that point, I mean, throw it so I can see the enemies, not just us.
Oh, definitely, yes. I'm not going to just...
Huh.
I'll do this. I'll do this. Put it on my... and then stick it to my forehead. So it's shining like a miner's helmet.
My hero.
Okay.
Are we ready?
Yes, let's go.
Okay. Cruising on forward. I feel like a vampire is gonna roll around the corner with this music. Just float right at us.
Here, there's a...
I mean, that wasn't bad.
How's
It was
that?
creepy. Yeah, I like this one a lot.
Okay.
You guys coming or what?
I'm
It's fine,
still
we're
touching his
coming.
shoulder. I have to wait for him.
It is like
Get
our
over
big
your shoulder.
feelings. Okay.
Now who's waiting for who?
I feel like we're getting close to where that light was.
What light?
I saw some dim. I
Even
don't play
even at this
game on
point,
telephone.
everyone would be able to see a bit of light making its way kind of against the wall down here. Well enough that Joanna's really able to get the first kind of view of the walls and the terrain nearby. Still relatively dim, maybe a bit difficult to see, but enough to no longer be completely entrapped in darkness. Kuzmik and Hassian, a bit of additional kind of sight. You would be able to see that a large cavern is kind of opened up here. And there are a couple points, well, at least one point of light ahead that you can see attached to a stalagmite at the kind of the far side of this cavern. Directly across from what you're able to see is a torch. It is worn down a bit and is maybe near the end of its life, but is ahead of you. So seeing as a bit of a cavern with some light is opening up in front.
Means they'll see us too. Well, they would see
Well.
us anyway. I could see them. They're goblins. Okay, this.
All right, let me have a moment. Joanna,
Do you need to do some breathing exercises?
No, I'm going to try to sneak in there.
Okay, got it.
I come up next to you as close as I can get and say, Joanna, just... And I put the coin back in my pocket so it cannot be seen. And I'm going to try to stealth right to there, or as, close to the wall as I can. I can't because, the map won't let me go right against the wall.
Sure.
Actually, well, I'm going to try to get right there with my stealth. And no matter what I roll, that's where I'm moving to. Fuck. 9.
Wait, what are you
Awesome.
telling me? What are you telling Joanna?
You stay with Guzmik.
Oh.
What do I see?
Well, with that, moving up there, you see a trio of stalagmites in the room. These first 3 here to the left, both stalagmites. This first one is a stalagmite, and the far end is a stalactite. These back 2 both have those faint burning torches against them. Kind of hugging the wall off to the right side is another torch, and stronger torchlight kind of back in this general direction. Straight across the way, you see a... As far away as it is, it's hard to tell, but there seems to be some kind of blockade, something blocking your view at the point directly across. And looks like you can see a bit of a secondary path, one off to the left and one off to the right.
Okay.
But with that, we're actually going to pause there for the night, because it is 10:30, and
awesome.
We are going to get kicked out of here soon, so I'm going to pull all of you back over into here. I hope everyone had fun. I hope the tension was there. Sorry for it being a little slow, but I wanted to make you all do your work to sneak your way through. Bleak season again. Thank you very much for those bits. The players are probably going to need them because something is going to happen next week. See exactly what that something is, though.
Bleak, thank you so much, man. Good to see you here.
Let's see, what do I have? Actually, you guys don't need to hear that. I'll just turn it on for the crowd of 3 of you guys and Bleak. But I think that will be the best place to end tonight. Again, our bard tonight was the Derpwood. So thank you again. The music, I hope, is creating some tension and a bit of liveliness to the world. I'll keep working on some more notes to make sure I'm getting the right music the first time. Maybe I'll battle music next time. We'll see. I'll have to dig into all that if that occurs.
Yeah,
If. But again, if anyone wants to join the Discord, you can join the Moonflower Tavern. Kind of let us know how we're doing. Kind of jump in, give me some... I'll steal some ideas from anybody to throw at the players. What else are we looking? I gotta work on my speeches and actually reading them. But the players, I would not be here, and it would not be as fun without the players. So... Mike, where can our viewers find you and kind of keep up to date with all things Mike?
I need to update your thing about me, but you can find me on YouTube. You can find me on D&D Beyond. You can find me on Discord. I am Madcap23 on most social media platforms. I am DM Madcap here and on Guild Superior. I have done several things. Right now, my biggest thing is I am doing some TikToks and some YouTubes about how to run the game based on my 20 plus years of experience as both a DM and a character, in ways to try to engage your characters in better gameplay, which Ty is doing a fantastic job on. Occasionally, you can find me on Guild Superior. which is a fantastic place. You should check them out when we're not gaming. They do great one-shots, they do great short shots, that type of thing. And they are one of the reasons why I started streaming in the first place. So yeah, look me up, Madcap23. If you find me on Discord, anything like that, be happy to talk, be happy to chat with you about anything TTRPG. Back to you, Ty.
Fantastic. Again, thanks for the praise. Imposter syndrome is still here, but at least seeing you got the three of you smiling, at least be having a little bit of fun. On that, Allie, how's your first campaign treating you? Is it enjoyable? You looking forward to next week?
Oh my god. It is yes, very very much fun. I'm so excited to actually like go into fighting. I feel like next week, not hopefully, but like hopefully, yeah, it's been good. This is I'm having fun. I would recommend.
Fantastic. Shelly, where can our viewers find you and kind of keep up to date with Shelly?
People, if they would like, can find me on Twitter at RealFleaMonkey. And also, I do stuff on Guild Superior, and right now I'm doing every Tuesday. Find me there. Yeah, and here every Wednesday. Super fun.
Well, yeah, we'll only episode 2. We'll try to keep it up every week at 7:30. Let our players get home and kind of wind down a little bit before they have to jump into tense situations. And again, I have been Tythalanos. Ty, you can find me here gaming. I'll be playing a few different games here in the future, but TTRPGs are where my heart lies. I'm really enjoying kind of opening up Cyrenthe to the world and kind of seeing what play happens, what occurs. I really want the players to just kind of enjoy themselves and live a different life, and magical, mystical things might happen to them. But I think that's it. Stick around. We're actually going to raid out to Phoenix Waki. I always get that wrong. But yeah, kind of send them love. We want to keep this all in the TTRPG kind of family, and we're gonna keep bouncing around the raids. So let me just set this up.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Ty.
Yeah, come on back. Thanks again, players. But we will be back here again next week for action. Maybe. Joanna's itching and ready to punch, so
Okay, I'll make sure I trip a trap and get you some action, Johanna.
There we go.
We'll get you there.
Now I have a hero point again.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, everyone.